So I'm really curious to know what's the end game. What's going to happen? It's taken over a year for them to have confidence to confront these guys, which is good. This was the most important thing, to confront them. That was what they needed to do back then. Yes, sir. It is what it is. Thursday morning. Today is 10th of August 2023. Let's say December 20. 20. It is what it is. You already know. This is the Uninterrupted Podcast. And I'm your host, Tito himself. What's up? What's up, Evans? Niaje bana. Today is today is one of those days that I'm going to be very surgical. I'm going straight for the jugular. I mean, let me not lie. Um, I've dreamt that I've done this space. Like today. I've had that dream, you know. And funny thing is one thing that I've avoided to talk about for a minute, man, because it's been an issue that has been overlooked over and over and over, as much as it came up a while back. Like I said, I'm going to be very surgical. I'm going for the jugular right now. So this is the deal. Um, in the recent past, there has been this wave of guys trying to leave Kenya. This wave has been so massive that it's uncontrollable. It's growing and is so big such that the numbers of guys who have left is crazy. And the number of guys who want to leave is crazy. I'll give you an example. The other day on Saturday, I was talking to some guys also making plans of leaving Kenya. And then one other guy, it's not my friend, his friend pops up, and this guy is like, okay, he's one of those guys who looks like okay, not in a bad way, but he looks like one of those hood rats. He comes and then they dap each other. This guy daps me. Then they're having this conversation of how they're helping guys leave Kenya. It was not a bad conversation. It's always a conversation that I'm interested, but I never speak. I just listen. I never speak. I just listen to what guys say. So this guy, this so-called hoodrat, has a group of about 1,000 participants, and he's the chief advisor. This guy is advising people on how to leave Kenya. And I'm going to be particular because he's taking people to Australia, my Australian brothers. This guy has a group of 1,000 plus people where he's advising people. I think the group is called something, Visa something. I can't really remember the name, okay? So it's that serious. Imagine there are 1,000 plus people who want to leave. If those 1,000 people would leave, there would be another 2,000 people, because each of these people, I would say, they know at least two people who also want to leave. If let's say if all these 1,000 people leave today, they will link those other people with this guy who's helped them to leave Kenya. So this has been a wave, and in the past, it used to be such a big deal that it seemed impossible, but it was actually possible to leave Kenya. And the biggest issue that has been there recently has been the Finland and the Canadian issue. It was a good idea that was brought up by someone who was so clever. But this clever person didn't bring this idea with the aim of taking people outside Kenya. This is one of those that I call a Ponzi scheme because the main idea right here was guys to bring funds together, and they would have this very very good bank statement that would be like a supportive document for these guys who would want to leave. So I'm thinking to myself, how many people got into this? Because if you look at the figures of the money that got lost, it's crazy. The money that got lost is about 800 million. 800 million is not some money you can get today. Mimi na wewe tukapewa 800 million today, tunachizi wote. That's a lot of money. That is crazy money. To be very honest, I don't even know how what a million could do for me. I don't know. Sai tu sijai kaa hivi nikashika mita mimi. I've never. So speaking of 800 million, that's crazy money. Bro, if I get 800 million, ay, 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 ay. I don't even know. So this is one of those that I call a Ponzi scheme because if you think about it, the first guys to put their money into this program are the only ones who left. And out of the few that left, some of them had to come back because their fees were not paid, something was not done, or just something. It's just like something went wrong. So the thing is this: these guys, they noticed the big problem a while back. I think it was even last year or something like that. But they never became vocal about it. You know, at that time, it was one of those stories that you could not talk about because you're talking about it. What evidence are you using to back your statements? Because that is why I was really avoiding to talk about it, because it's one thing that involves those big fish. It involves political figures, businessmen, all these guys who you wouldn't want to fuck with because they have this they have this influence in the society that you cannot just come and say something like that. So I never wanted to talk about it because I didn't know much about it. I've spoken to guys who know a little bit about the program, who've participated. Uh, I haven't met someone who came back. Like, I'm yet to meet one guy who can tell me that this is what happened, or someone who gave their money and has not left Kenya. So it was a problem, and guys were just talking about it. So Juicy, they have this crazy meeting on Monday, and then this guys, this ladies come on, this ladies, what the ones who are speaking about it. So they're the ones who've been trending, from what they said, what they asked the politicians, the guys who are involved and everything. I'm a damn how chills. They were asking questions fearlessly. And what I liked about this chick, she's called Mercy. So she said, I might seem very foolish because I'm young. Oh my God. I was like, you know, funny thing about all guys, when they are questioned or maybe they're challenged, they look at you as a very foolish person because they don't expect you to have the gut to question their wrong instincts. Because at times they're terribly wrong. They're terribly wrong. But because of age, they feel like they're making the best choices for whoever is beneath them. And I feel like she made a lot of sense for me, as much as to some extent, she lost it a little bit. She lost her cool. And in the beginning, she was in very good control of her emotions as she was speaking, but she lost it. And she twisted a little bit of her statements, and they sounded a bit personal as much as they said Now it's getting to a point that it's personal. I like that she was clear about the fact that it was now getting personal. And she mentioned quite a few names of the kids that she schooled with, uh, of these political figures, of which was good. She had to guilt trip them. But one thing that I know is so difficult to guilt trip a political person, because a political person knows it's up to you to do whatever it takes to secure what you want. It's up to you to do, to sacrifice anything that is in your way to what you want to achieve. So the, the whole meeting became like a fight. Questions were just heading towards these guys, and I have not seen a video of these guys responding to these ladies, because I feel like there is nothing that they can say that can answer those questions. The only answer that could answer all these questions and sort out this problem is money. They need their money back. Some of them say they are homeless, some of them say they are graduates and they're doing some jobs that they don't have to do. They shouldn't be doing at this point, having become graduates from top-notch universities in Kenya. And what's really bothering me is what's the end game, because we're in a country where a lot of the things we cry or say fall on damn deaf ears. They never get answered. They never get a response that makes sense. So I'm really curious to know what's the end game. What's going to happen? It's taken over a year for them to have confidence to confront these guys, which is good. This was the most important thing, to confront them. That was what they needed to do back then. And I heard about the few meetings that they had in the beginning, and they were being told, when you come for this program, so funny thing is, there is no single evidence of what they were told back then. Even if they went to court today and they were told, prove that this and this is what you guys said, they cannot prove, because there is no record of what was said to them during those meetings. Because they were told, whenever you come for this meeting, you have to switch off your phone and put it in this basket and then get in here. We don't, it was like one of those wanasemaga, hatutaki interruptions za simu, guys would call you or anything. They didn't want that. So there's no one who has a particular record. So I have one friend who participated in the program and he left. So when it got to this time when it became a problem and the Finnish government started returning students to Kenya, he was one among who was supposed to come back. And his dad is one of those who have this long money. But his dad couldn't let him come back. So his dad decided, because he noticed that this money is gone. This guy decided to pay the fees on his own, as much as it was, the money was already handed to the organization that was doing the program. So this guy, the dad decided, where uskuje, where ka mi nitakulipia fee. The guy is still there. The guy is doing the guy's still doing his studies. I think he's working and everything. Just a few people managed to stay back because the families now had to put in their own funds to pay for their education, as much as they had initially given money. The numbers are not clear of how many guys are still there, how many guys came back, but it is said that more than 100 guys have lost their money to this Ponzi scheme. So yesterday they also had a demonstration in town. They've done multiple interviews. Now it's a national issue. And some of them don't even want to leave Kenya again. They just want their money back. Because they had anticipated that by this time, the money that they spent to get there, they would have already gotten it back. Because if they go there, they get a job. Now this job keeps on funding their dream. So that was the idea. But right now, they can't leave. Kisaka, I see you.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
You
unanisikia?
yeah. You heard about this story, right?
Ndio nimeisikia.
Mm.
I didn't hear it in detail like ume-explain saizi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense because nilikuwa naona hiyo the governor akisema sijui atarudisha all the money from that or something like that. I saw niliona sijui Nairobi gossip ama niliona wapi, just somewhere. I don't know if it's true or I don't know if it was said, but yeah.
So, funny thing, right now that guy has a lot of crazy pressure because in the past, when the Finnish government returned people from Finland, um, so he had to give a statement. He had to explain. He said, when I took over, I didn't know of any program that was going on. This program, he didn't know, and he didn't participate in it at all when it started. So at that time, he said he has no obligation to refund or sort out that problem. And I'll tell you one crazy thing about all these two county governments that we have in Kenya. There's a guy who went to Spice FM. I can't clearly remember everything he said, but from what he said, you see, these guys who hold these positions, they sometimes they can be very manipulative. Because one, when you pick tenders from the Gava, and then you pick tenders at around a time where they're about to do an elections, or it happens that the current governor or the current senator gets impeached or has to leave, most of this money goes down the drain. Kwa sababu you had ulichukua tender with the previous governor. This previous governor alikuwa na chief of staff wake, alikuwa na advisor wake, had his financial support people, all these guys. You get? So if he leaves with all of them because the next governor will come and pick other guys. Yeah. So if he picks another group, if you supplied a tender, ulichukua deni ya 8 million and you supplied a tender to them, so tenders, you spend your money first and then you get paid later on.
Yeah.
So if you do that, your money has gone down the drain. Hautalipwa. It will go to court. It will take 5-4 years. This governor is out again. Another governor is there. So you're fighting the third governor who's come in after you took the tender. So it goes on and on and on. It's one of those cases that take 35 years to get a solution. So it's the same with this one. If these guys don't push it that much, right now it's at a point where the hearsay all over Tao Saini, that money was used for campaign.
Of course it was. Ilienda.
Imagine 800 megs, man. 800 megs.
Ati I'll promise to pay back. That's a lie.
Bro, Najua, even these people, if you hold them right now and then you tell them to pay 800 million, all of them would lose a lot of their assets, man. 800 million, man, is a lot.
800 million is a lot of money, especially ka haikuwa yako na ndio that one is spent and gone and hakuna kitu watasema tu watalipa but they won't follow up.
Ai, eh,
Mm.
mi sijui, but nakwambia the wave ya watu, the wave ya kutaka kutoka Kenya saa hii
Mm.
ni noma. Watu, people want to leave, especially the young guys between the age of 20 to 30.
Mm.
Those guys wanna leave.
Of course. Si
Those guys
looking
wanna
for
leave.
greener pasture. Ukipata opportunity ya kwenda kustruggle kwingine. Because I
Mm.
think they already have that notion ya sipati
It's
kitu
going to
hapa.
be better out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything here. So when you get an opportunity to leave and go make your mark elsewhere. And it's very true. Mi siwezi
Mm.
discourage mtu from leaving. If you get the chance, a good chance, and go make your mark somewhere.
Mm.
Go see how you go there. Alafu, yeah, ujaribu.
You know, no, come to think of it, this has not been a recent problem. Hii ni kitu imekuwa ina go on from back in the days, because think about guys who've been going to Saudi. Qatar became a wave the other day when the World Cup was here.
Mm.
Huh? It's
Sini the
it's
same
been going on.
hata those Saudi house helps. Stories come, they
Yeah.
get abused, they get in. But if you sit down, Adi, if you sit down and uangalie your back is against the wall,
Mm.
you do it. You do it for that little money. You do it.
Mm.
That's why watu bado wataendelea kuendelea mawalcoin watalomba loan as in because you need that money. You need financial backing ndio ufanye everything. Like in wanasemanga like money is not it is the most, iko hapo juu na oxygen. Hata money iko juu ya oxygen.
Mm.
Juu wanasemanga money does not bring happiness but money buys everything that brings happiness. Like it's up there. So anywhere you try make your money, go.
Mm.
Anyway, that's why bado kuna watu sidhani kuna watu like watakuwa mathags ama
Mm.
wanauza madre juu wanapenda.
Mm.
It's chasing that money, ni kufuata hiyo do.
Mm.
Jamaa akipata opportunity anakuja na kurusha. Why? Hiyo do,
Mm.
nataka hiyo do.
Mm.
Hata the reason Udem alispick up ni juu amefika her back is against the wall, she can't step back anymore. Ndio maana akasema kaa mbaya. Ndio maana alikuwa anasema ati Carthags juu niko sure kuna a lot of fear speaking up against prominent people. But
Mhm.
when your back's against the wall, hii pesa enye ulikuwa promised ama you thought you'll get after school, watu wengine wanapata na wewe upati. Aish, you do it.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Because
So uh-huh.
there's a time when your story of Saudi was now the big issue. No, Saudi.
Mm.
Saudi is one of those countries that has a lot of rules. Like they're strict with their rules. The rules that they already have, especially marriage and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
it became a big issue because a lot of ladies came back in coffins. They never
Mm-hmm.
came back home healthy, or some of them would come back home, uh, come wako in a vegetable state, ni vegetable, yani wamepigwa, wameingizwa kwa fridge. Someone's been denied food. Some of them terrible conditions.
Mm.
So it became a big issue, and guys were being encouraged not to go to Saudi, Middle East. Arami
Mm.
Sahi, if you'd ask me, if it's Middle East, wacha nirudi ushago. So ikakuwa issue kubwa sana, and some guy did a documentary trying to convince people not to go to Saudi as house helps or anything.
Mm.
But nakwambia, funny thing is that the number of women who wanted to go to Saudi ili skyrocket mbaya,
Mm.
and it even became a meme. wakasema hakuna kitu ngumu kugeuza kama akili ya dem anataka kwenda Saudi. Of which was true. Ilikuwa ukweli. And then come to think of it, mse mwingine mwenye anapeleka watu Saudi akasema, kwa nini mnafikiria ni wanawake ndio wanarudingi kama wamededi? Kwa nini mnafikiria hatuletagi wanaume? Akasema wanaume wenye amerudisha Kenya in coffins are only two. One died of accident and the other one was a thief. Akasema in Saudi they are a strict country where they follow rules to the letter. So mademo wanafika huko, man, they are hyper sexually active. And huko they don't fuck around with those issues. If they fuck around with that, they face the consequences. And that is why most ladies come back in boxes. It made sense.
But that's not fair. Juu, kwani this au mademu wanalala na nani?
So funny thing is, utu tudem wanalala na au vijana Waarabu, yeah?
The bosses.
Yeah, the bosses, yeah. Na wanawageuzia.
Of course. So hatuwezi blame madem. Hatuwezi juu au ndio I'm 100% sure when umetoka Kenya, umetoka like shags or whatever, outa initiate sexual contact na boss wako Mwarabu ako na bibi yake hapo. Ni yeye ndio ni the same way na ni hata hii my house help ku impregnated by their bosses. Bosses ndio initiate.
Ndio ni wangu kisaka. Disagree na wewe hapo.
Wapi hapo?
Hapo penye unasema team bosses ndio waga wana nini project.
Initiate.
Bro, nakupea logic yenye hata hapo we've seen like unafika nchi nyingine unadai kudoze na msewa hiyo nchi ndio upate benefits ama ndio upate do ama ndio upate place ya kustay ama ndio upate nini bro. Uwezi blame me na blame wase wote na blame as in na blame hao mtuaje bosses na blame pia hao madem. Juan, we kama umejua umeenda job huko, hizi blame as in wakitry ku make it ama wakitry kutafuta a better nini living, but still at the end of the day ni unajua nini ndio unadai hapo, unacheki. So kama unaona beshte yako alienda huko last year na shit ikawa vibaya vile iko, we bado you're going the same place and doing the same things. Get. So uwezi blame ati ni wabosses na wanafanya hii azi. Na blame pia hao madem. Juu unapata dem anadai kudoze na huyu jamaa ndio maybe anaona akipata mtu wenu mse itakuwa better. Ama anaona akigawa mse atapata benefits zingine. But at the end of the day, they're just being used.
Neil, I would like to agree and disagree with you at the same time.
Pole, phone call imeingia.
Unaona Saudi is one of those places penye they are very strict with hizo rules za husband wife, you have to be it has to be legally binding. So the way you're saying these ladies would want to do that to get a benefit is true, but Saudi, you cannot just do that for the benefit of papers, for the benefit of getting more money. Okay, we would say for getting more money, yeah, because in Saudi it is known well that there are Kenyan ladies who are running brothels over there. And these brothels, whoever are in these brothels, ni madem wameenda Saudi in the name of work, and then they run away. They get hosted by these other two Kenyan ladies who've been there for a minute and they know a little bit around the Saudi. And now they are running this brothels. So some of them don't leave Kenya with the intention of going there to work, and come back. Some of them go there because they know that this thing is going on there and it's making a lot of money. Brothels are making a lot of money in Saudi. So their participation in this program is the primary agenda. But the decoy ni kusema wanaenda kazi.
Lakini unajua I get that na I get kitu prof alikuwa anajaribu kusema, but penye si agree kabisa ni sidhani anatoka akisema naenda kulala na boss wangu ndio nipewe privileges. I think anasema boss wangu akitaka naweza mpea, as in those are two different intentions.
Okay.
Wanga kitaka eti boss wangu akitaka naweza mpea.
Wendi kusema naenda kupea boss wangu. Unaenda ukisema huyu akitaka akiniuliza sitamkataa. Juu kuna a lot of power dynamics hapo. Na we all know, tunajuanga tu like a man in power will obviously have more influence over somebody else. Na that's what bosses have.
But saka I think kila mtu anaendanga na intention moja, whether unaenda kufanya kazi, whether unaenda go around, whether unaenda kuendesha gari, uko na goal moja, ku make it, kuunda do.
Yes. Hiyo naweza katai. Sasa ndio maana nasema
hiyo inakuanga, it doesn't matter kama uko messed up, kama uko focus, kama uko nini, end goal ni ku make money. So our mademu wenye wanaenda Saudi, even after wameona wenzao the things they've gone through, bro, still they're going to do the same things. Na all of this itaenda kuwa lack of information to them. Part of it is blame pia, part of it pia na blame wase wenye wanawasaidia kwenda huko. Lack of information, bro, get mademu wako like desperate, willing to make money out there.
Exactly. That's the word.
Mambo ni mbaya. So once wana reach huko, they tend to unajua ile do ya mbio
kubali
yoyote na mse wanaona, na venye Tito amesema ati Saudi haina hizo vitu, they don't know that, bro.
Hawajui rules, by the way.
Hawana information, so sizo blame, hawana information. So ni ile tu logic yenye ukidozi na ujamaa uko na tuseme mtoi na ujamaa unabaki huko, benefits zinaingia. But the fact is that Saudi yaniko different compared to the Western world, you know. But they don't know that. Get. Na inauma sana, as in unapata mademu wamerudi mtaani, wengine wamepigwa, wengine wamerudi kwa state mbaya, but bado kuna mademu wengine wanadai kwenda Saudi in the name of ati yao hawakujua kukaa huko, wacha mimi niende sasa nionyeshe jinsi ya kukaa huko. Then they go there, same shit happens, bro. Same shit happens, and we never learn from it.
Ni poverty.
Exactly.
Ni the same way na wezi wamechomwa mara ngapi, na si ati wezi uisha. Mtu atakuja adanganywe tu na do kiasi, anaambia ukibeba hii na kuja unauza na unarudi tu huko. Poverty.
Thieves pray before they go to work, bro. Wezi wanaombanga kwanza ndio waende. I swear them. Mwizi anaomba asishikwe, anaomba Yesu asishikwe.
Lakini anajua repercussions, si ndio?
Anajua repercussion most def, but the economy state of it all ni anaenda kutafuta pesa. Get? Anaenda kutafuta pesa, anaenda kutafuta better, better things, So mwizi anaomba before aende. So I think ni vile mtaani issues ziko, economy iko. Na nilikuwa naona Ruto anasema that in the next like 4 years dollar will go back to the way it used to be.
Where?
So alisema gani juzi? Actually
alisema
nimeiona mahali wakisema dola inarudi kushuka tena.
Alisema ati dola itarudi kushuka in the next few years.
hata
Do you
for the
know?
ikuwa
next 2
years.
years.
Walisema sijui in months.
Si mimi
Man,
nimesema
I
Tito,
said man.
iko kwa
Acha
news bro.
nikushow.
Yeah,
You know
si mimi
people.
nimesema.
Yesterday's magazine, yeah, People's Daily. Oh, I want us to get back to the initial conversation, but I'm going to say this. Yesterday's People's Daily. Do you know the dollar hit 150 Kenyan shillings? Funny thing is, unajua mi naweza sema this was a political thing because back in the days, these guys were saying, like a few months back, they were saying that the dollar is going to die. The dollar is going to. You guys don't know about the dollar is backed by very many things, bana. International programs are
Dollar is a
backing the
worldwide
dollar.
currency bro.
The
Hakuna
dollar
kama
is
venye
very
taicha.
secure.
Yeah.
The dollar will not go down. And this was a tactic. And they were really good with this tactic because they made a lot of people sell their dollars. And the same guys who are asking people to sell their dollars are the ones who are buying dollar. And I'm telling you, this dollar will hit 155 and then they will start selling their dollars. Because they will be, unajua sahi exchange rates, if the dollar is at 150, then they will definitely exchange it for about, they will exchange it at 145, 46 up. But if it hits the 155 mark, then the dollar will be exchanged at 150, least 150. So imagine how much these guys will make if they exchange the dollar at 150. Anyway, let's go back to the initial conversation. Neil, you know about the story of what walikuwa in Finland, right?
Wasungishu.
Yes.
Nimepata mkiongelelea.
Yes, that is where we were.
I saw kuna certain amount of money wamekuwa refunded. Kuna watu wengine wamekuwa refunded, kuna watu wengine hawajakuwa refunded.
Refund
wamekuwa
Finland na Canada,
refunded.
right? Ilikuwa Finland na Canada.
Sidhani wamekuwa refunded. I think hiyo ndio nilikuwa nauliza. I think niliona somewhere na news feed governor akisema I will refund all the money. Sijui kama wamekuwa refunded but niliona somewhere.
Alikuwa anasema kuna do itakuwa refunded close to maybe 45 itakuwa refunded because I think the total amount wako nayo in debt ni ka 140.
800 million.
800?
It's 800 million. That is the amount of money that is missing.
So, ndio nilikuwa naona news walikuwa wanasema jana that news yenye niliona jana that wase wenye wamebaki kuwa refunded watenda maandamano kwa county sort of.
They did.
Sijui ka wase wengine walikuwa washakuwa refunded already.
I don't think so. Kuna wenye wamekuwa refunded.
But hata kama walisema hivyo, I don't think wamekuwa refunded yet. Maybe they will be refunded, but si saizi. Juu si ati hiyo do iko tu hivi inatoka kama imepeana. I don't think so. Plus hii bullshit yenye B alikuwa anasema ati yeye hakuanga anajua kuhusu hiyo. Venye Tito amesema, it's right. Wase wenye uko nao saizi kwa power, once you're out of that power unaishia nao, system mingine inaingia, ni sawa, but I expect pakuwa na ile handover. Get
Iko
sijui kama pako na hiyo handover, pako na hiyo information, ukiingia hapo. So the thing yenye B alikuwa anasema, I had B saying that ati hiyo ni mara kwanza ni shit yote ikigo down, ati hiyo ni shida former governor na sijui nini. Hiyo thing ilikuwa mbaya sana buda, iliuma.
It's iko. You know these guys know.
You're not supposed to talk like that bro. Unajua yenye government ya mwisho ilikuwa inafanya ni wenye Ruto ana come in power, anajua yenye unye alikuwa mazee anafanya. So huwezi niambia ati haukuwa unajua.
Yeah.
It's just sema tu ulikuwa unajua, but you're not like responsible for that, but you'll try and help, you know. But si tunaambia watu ati hiyo sijui haiko shida yako sijui nini. Unaambia mzazi mwenye ameuza shamba, mwenye ameuza ng'ombe bro, ina look bad. So sijui kaa watakuwa refunded hiyo do, sijui. And if not, at the end of the day, I think wazazi watalia tu, but sidhani hiyo do yote itakuwa refunded bro. This will take years and years and years until the next government again. So sijui kama 800 million kurudishiwa bro, hiyo ni kama unaambia wa dig in their pockets watoe do yao, you get. So I don't think wote watakuwa refunded, but there's a few number watakuwa refunded for the sake of them being on the positive side a bit, get, waseme at least wamejaribu, others can wait, kutufunga tu macho, but si wote watakuwa refunded. I don't think so.
Wata refund the loudest ones. Watarudishia only the loudest ones, ndio ikae ni kama wamefanya kitu, but sidhani. But that's true yenye umesema, hiyo ujinga ya ati I didn't know about it, ni ujinga. They knew something that big does not just go like that. They knew. Ni vile hawakuwa na mtu wa kuuliza hadi saizi.
Unajua ni vile
The loudest.
yeah, the loudest
The loudest ndio
I
watakuwa
think
refunded juu au ndio wakirudishiwa watanyamaza,
itakuwa
alafu just like that amebai time yake.
yeah.
Exactly, yeah. 5 years imelala hivyo, wase wengine wameingia,
Imeacha kwa shida
same
yake.
shit, imeacha kwa shida yake.
So the next person who comes in atakuwa anasema hey, mi hata by the time this issue was going on, mimi hata sikuwa na any political ambitions. So this is someone who's fresh off the web.
Honestly, hata kama mimi ndo naingia after si mimi ndaruka hiyo story juu sitaki kuwa kwa ngori.
Of course, joy kwa yako.
Mimi ndaruka hiyo story.
Na ukideflect mwaka moja,
it's a big issue.
Ukideflect mwaka moja, miaka 2, story imeisha.
Yes, sorry, kunywa maji.
Na mzee, so so I hope like itakuwa sorted. Hata kasi wazazi wote, just a few at least. Juu do ni mingi 800M bro, ni pesa mingi sana, so I hope itakuwa sorted.
Wait, so
the bad thing
hiyo story ya hebu ni explainie vile inafika mpaka tunatoa do that, alafu goal ilikuwa waende wasome, wapewe kazi, accommodation, ama hiyo do ilikuwa ina cover nini na nini?
So unajua most of these guys they could not, like, the cost ya your education was a bit high, okay? And the purpose, unajuaga purpose ya wase kusema we're leaving Kenya, we're going for education. Guys usually have the idea of, my paro, whoever is sponsoring me is going to pay for my first financial year, and then from there onwards nitakuwa nimepata job, at least I'll have a foundation of making money, so I'll be paying for my fees and I'll be sending some money home. So that's usually the idea. So the plan was for them to bring their money together, and then they have this one huge account where it has a lot of money, and the county government of Wasingishu would be the guarantor. Like unendaga, you go to the embassy or wherever you submit your documents, and you're like, who's your financial supporter or guarantor? Then it's the county. Yeah, your sponsor, exactly. So your sponsor has 800 million in his account. Why should I not let you go to study? 800 million. It makes a lot of sense. So that was the idea.
Bank statement, bro.
Yeah, that's a very powerful bank statement of 800 million.
Na ni the government, so uko na
yeah, and to be specific, it's an independent account. It's like a kitty where it's funding students who are traveling outside Kenya to go and study. So it just looks like all this money is there to be paid. Yani doesn't look like kuna shida yote itatokea.
Na hapo tuseme chuo tu inataka kitu kama 1.2 1.5.
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
800 bro, utaona this is easy. Wacha kuje.
It would be unfair to deny someone a visa because na akona bank statement ya 800 megs. That's a lot of money. So that was the initial plan.
Yeah.
So shida ilitokea when some of these accounts, unajua they were personal accounts za students and everything. So mi sielewi at what point hizi account zilianza kuwa managed by other people because kijana alikuwa anaongea jana kwa news said that they were asked for their hizo cards za bank, or what are they called, ATM cards, and some other people would control the accounts, even withdraw the money that is in their accounts.
These people
I
are
don't know.
from where? When you
See,
wanna control.
so it's anonymous. And crazy thing is that the names that were used to withdraw is your pesa. Yeah, your 800 and something, 840 something million. Different names were used. There are 3 different names that zilitumika ku withdraw your dough.
So
And the
walipitia
money,
ka kila students na wako wanatoa do mpaka ikatoa hiyo do yote.
no, all this money was brought together in one account. But sasa si we mwenyewe una transfer your dough. Hao wenyewe they are doing it on their own.
So I
So
think saka nauliza venye azin walipeana ATM venye unasema ati walikuwa hata wana withdraw do kutoka kwa hizo account. I think wanafunzi walikuwa na do zingine kwa account pia. Sort of ama.
you see the way you would want to pay for something online. It's like a monthly subscription where, or maybe you're just, let's just say you're paying for something online and you're using your card. They're just kuna hizo details unaekaga tu. So I think those were the important details that they needed to make the cash transfer.
Alafu wakasema tu all of a sudden do yote ikakuja pamoja, alafu the report is do ikapotea hivyo.
So what happened ni fee haiko inalipwa ya watu huko wenye washafika Finland. And then some of them had not paid for hostel. Wamefika tu, and then it's like they are now stranded. They have not registered for school. They have not wajalipa housing nini. So it became a problem. So guys started to question what's going on. And then ikasemekana. So at that time, by the way, walicheza watu vizuri sana. Because at that time they turned the statement and said, these guys thought that we are going to fund them. We were just going to be the guarantor. So mtu akisema hivyo, you would think that mtu alipelekwa na akaambiwa ati tutakulipia. But si ati ilikuwa tutakulipia. Ushapeana do yako. Do zako ushapeana, hasa wako na do yako. And these guys are supposed to pay for your fee directly to the school. So these guys have not paid the fee. And this is the point where the money started getting lost and questions started rising. What's going on with the money? And at that time, no one knew that walikuwa wengi hivyo, or the amounts were that crazy, 800 million nini nini. Wamepeana 600,000, mwingine amepeana 1.2, mwingine 2 point, mwingine. So it was a lot of money channeled from different people. Ndio ikafika huko. So walicheza watu sana in the beginning, claiming that we were just going to be the guarantors. Right now, it is clear that they had this money with them.
These guys wenye wanakuja, they should sue the government.
Also government sasa ndugu yangu.
Unaweza
Ati?
unaweza sema wamecheza na future yako.
Lakini sasa unajua hiyo ni Kenya bro.
You sue them. You sue them. You make it so big. You make it inaitwanga nini when there's like a group of people suing. Like wase wengi wakikam together na ikwe one big lawsuit, it can actually ruffle some feathers. Cause unaweza sema wamecheza na future yako. You have one future, you have one
but at the end of the day, possibility ya hiyo pesa kuwa refunded ni minimal sana. They can as well
Exactly.
just say
Ndio maana
wacheni
unawasu.
tuwape job meanwhile while you wait for that refund. Na sisi wote we all know possibility ya hiyo do kurudi ni minimal bro. Na
Ndio
Wakenya
maana
wanachoma
unasu
kila mahali gava.
juu ukiwa if you don't sue them they will promise you that, but if it's actually ordered by the court it's umeingia a different spectrum. It's still
Yeah,
not, we
but
don't know how it will
but
go.
still hizo sandio zile vitu zinachukuanga like unapata uko na kesi na government for 25 years, 35 years, 40 years bro, you'll never find a solution.
Ndio maana
They'll
si
keep on
msemo
pushing the
moja,
dates bro.
ndio maana si msemo
Yeah,
moja a
lakini
group.
sasa
Kuna
court
hizi lawsuits
ikikwambia
zenye zinaka juu, think about it Neil, usha lose where you've
so
already lost, like your opportunity is gone. Hautatukaa chini ukiangalia
court
hata
imekwambia next year ni January, you'll
ni
have to
sawa
wait.
juu you've already
Tena
think,
wakwambia next year ni after a year.
ni
Oh,
sawa juu you've already
I think
lost. Hauna kitu
but you'll
ingine
be
yenye
wasting more time.
unarudia ama hakuna
You'll be fighting a lost battle bro.
but
Point
you'll get
is
something at the end. You will get
point
something
is
at the end.
you're not guaranteed. Point is you can never like sue the Kenyan government bro.
Yeah, but you can, you
never
know what
sue
the
the
other
Kenyan
option
government
is?
bro.
Unajua what the other option
Huwezi
is?
eh,
It's either you do that ama unyamaze uendelee na maisha yako.
mtapiga makelele yes, but
Kelele haitaenda
the bitter
anywhere
truth
kudemonstrate. Kaa Raila ameambia
hiyo
watu hapa watulie, waongee kwanza.
nasema hiyo kotini na nini, but the bitter truth ni nothing will, yani you'll never find a solution to it. You'll never be refunded your money bro. At the end of the day umepeana teme 1.5 million, alafu umezua umepewa 100k ya kwanza wamekwambia will be paying you pole bro. Hiyo polepole utangoja utakuwa unalipwa, so leo unalipwa after 5 years, hata
Vile wa
before the
Kenya
10th year labda hata umededi
nakwambia,
bro.
vile government of Kenya inajipenda ikitu intakana ifind ya kufika international news, whenever watakureactia
Itazima
haitazima ikifika. Mi nakwambia
Actually,
government of Kenya wanatakanga kuwa na a clean rapport huko nje. Wakisikia
Sasa
wanacheza na
washachoma.
youth, wakisikia wanacheza na their youth na their
Kisaka
livelihoods na their education,
washachoma. Mayouth wenyewe ni waongo, hata huku Somalia venye youth ni waongo. Kenya imekuwa blacklisted.
exactly. Lakini unajua hizi vitu
wanachoma kila mahali.
ikifika huko juu, it's a different thing. Utakuwa given your ear, utaambiwa useme tunasema, you'll be given a moment of getting heard. Juu you'll need to do something. You can't just ask. It's very unfortunate, but you can't just ask watulie. You just fight. And the fight ni you try get as loud as you can, and the only loudest you can ni ifikie international markets. Wacha outside bodies za rights zikuje ndani. Juu kani wewe na government straight, you'll never win this. How do I win? Na watazima.
I really pray whatever you say comes to pass.
I hope so as well,
justice,
because that's the only way watapata justice.
At the end of the day, all I know is that there's nothing that will happen. Nah, it's so sad because we've been there not once, not twice. It's so sad bro. But I do pray for them. Juu hata ingekuwa mimi labda sasa ningekuwa Finland, narudi mtaani.
Mi kwanza I have a feeling that kulikuwa na njama ya my cousin kwenda Finland ama kuja hapa, ikakuwa Finland, alafu juzi tu ndio akaanza kusema wanataka kuja hapa. So wacha ndakalisha madheni muulize ka ako waliingia kwa hiyo scheme.
Okay, nichangie kidogo. So my thing here is this story of Finland. Remember the governor brought up that story. After governor bringing up that story, a committee was a committee can be you know. That committee leadership haiko inaonekana mahali because any moment you could enter the government offices, every person in the county anaongelea mambo ya nini ya Finland. Every person anaongelea mambo ya Finland. And that's why the mistake came in. Uliona kuna mama alikuwa na complain because akimention hii jina anasikia this guy was not part of the community. Then akimention hii jina ingine, this guy was not part of the community. So the governor is to be alianza kublamiwa, lakini governor hana source of support because even the treasurer was just receiving money for your account number, but imepitia through channel ya another person from the county. And then the current county government wako na problem in that walikuja wakashuffle county yote mzima, hawakuendelea na ile government ingine. Huyu governor mwalingia ali bring in his own people, bringing up his own people. Wale wengine wenye walikuwa wametoroka na pesa ya watu in case walitoroka nayo, anayo to be seen. Mtu alitoka akaenda akafanya ukulima yake, huyo hata ukianza kumuuliza mambo ya pesa ya county nini, ataanza kusema hapana, mimi nilitoka county kitambo, nimemaliza mwaka mmoja kama ziko kwa serikali. Unaona? So this game started with the county itself. They didn't have a proper strategy ya committee get a deal like it. Because if everyone is talking about the Finland money, hakuna mtu anagonga governor direct, the previous governor. Kila mtu akona mtu wake complain tu. Unaona? Huyu akikuja anasema, huyu jamaa si ndiye tulikuwa tukiongea na usipingane. Huyu mwingine akipatiwa mic anasema, si huyu niliongea na yeye, si huyu niliongea naye. Mpaka you find that the senator anashindwa atajibu nini because everyone anagonga mshale pale pake. Pale anajua alipata uhakika ya pesa yake. No. That was the way the problem started.
That's why I'm saying no solution will be found. Government ni ile bro. ile tu.
Okay, mimi naona in the long run kuna watu watakuwa held accountable for this because right now EACC is looking into that issue. They are looking into how that money was spent. So there's more evidence that will be brought to light because there's obviously bank transactions, account to account transfers. When all this is brought to light, there's a lot of people who will be questioned about this whole thing, and they will have to answer because if your name was used to transfer money or withdraw cash, when do you explain who did it and they did it on whose instructions? Because there's definitely someone who was giving instructions from the beginning. And ukiona this thing became, they needed the name of the county to make this thing look so legit. But I'm telling you for a fact, those guys wenye sahi wanakuwa held accountable, we might say, tunaweza speculate they were part of the whole Ponzi scheme, but we don't know. But there's definitely, and wenyewe wanajua, they know who used the name. They just needed the name of the county to make it look so legit. But it was not as legit as it looked like. So definitely kuna mtu atakuwa held accountable. And vile Kisaka amesema, they will refund the guys who are very vocal. Huyo dem already kuna watu washasema they are willing to help her. I'm telling you, even after she gets help, her vocal nature ita recede kiasi. Not because shida yake imeisha, but because at least she will have some leap of faith here doing what she was hoping to do. Alikuwa anataka kwenda kusoma, and maybe she will go there if she wants to, or maybe she has changed her mind or something like that. So mimi naona nika there's definitely someone who's going to be sacrificed. It's the same way. This is like the NYS saga. There was someone who was questioned, but in the end, ikazama. So it's going to be the same thing. Kuna mtu atakuwa held accountable after a while, and then I don't know if we'll forget about it or it will be sorted. Time
Tito,
will tell.
remember this is not public money. Ili pesa
I
ya
know it's
mtu
not public
personal
money,
alitransact. Unaona?
which
Ili
makes
pesa ya mtu
yeah, which
aliuza akapatiana. Nini NYS?
okay,
NYS was something
which
like
makes
it's
it
a
even
government
worse.
money. Si
Which makes
ninakwambia
it even
sasa
worse.
this will be dealt with, but hata EACC kiingilie kitu. Wewe nikwambie Tito. Remember when all these governors were being sampled? EACC wanaenda kabisa mpaka wanapiga picha wamepata pesa kwa kitanda ya governor. Wanainua matrisi ya governor wanapata pesa imetandikwa chini. Then kufika huku nje EACC 1 2 3 4 out. Your story imeisha. It's a high time tuache kudepend on EACC. Vile Kisaka amesema let's go beyond EACC. We know that EACC can deal with this thing. Hatukatai. But since the previous government ya Uhuru ilikuwa tumeangalia saga ngapi ya EACC. EACC tunakwambie hao walishindwa hata na story ya nyingine ndogo ndogo. Wameshitume EACC wameshindwa EACC wenyewe. We need to go further. We need to think further. Tuangalie mbele. Okay, Neil, go on.
Nagree na Ruto. Unaona, the best of the matter is that it's painful juu say wa EACC they are appointed bro. Kuna mtu wanachukua akiwaeka tu hapo bro, so si ati hao ni wase wa itaje integrity bro, ni watu tu wamekwa. Kuna makesi mingi wamesolve, kuna zingine waja solve. I think wana solve makesi zenye zinawa benefit kama gava.
Yeah.
Sisi mi nasema tu yani you get so
intakana ikuwe outside
ingine,
body yenye
exactly,
iko related na gava, nika vile IEBC iko like it's an outside body yenye iko related na gava.
Hata IBC bado bro,
of course IBC bado, but the idea, unaona hiyo ideology ya it's not, they're not paid by the government, they're not hired by the government, ni it's outside body, iko na control yao, iko na how it controls, na ni their own, si wako na outside peer interference from people of influence. Na hii inamaanisha these guys are supposed to be like somewhat well off, ama wanalipwa poa enye awako nini na small monies.
Yeah, so that's alafu venye Ruto amesema it's even worse right now juu any do ya individuals.
Exactly. Si ati walitoa
so unajua
this is not tax money.
Yani ka
unataka kupatia watu ili toka mtu unasikia mtu anasema niliuza ng'ombe, niliuza mpaka kuku. Unasikia?
Hawa Nigeria wanafanyanga nini? Inaitwanga nini yenye au Nigeria wanafanyanga? Hii kukuibia. Inaitwanga nini? Scamming. Nika scamming.
Yeah, scamming.
Nika scamming.
So
now what I was talking about earlier inaitwa, wacha niwasomee. Inaitwa class action lawsuit. So inasema class action lawsuit in which either one person or a number of people sues a company or institution on behalf of a larger class of people who share the same or similar grievance. So ina nini on very big bodies. So sijui ka gava is part of it, sijui ka imekuwa big enough, but wanasema these lawsuits have covered a wide range of mismanagement of monies invested in corporations, pension schemes, economic and environmental effects of disasters such as oil pollution, and different kinds of alleged institutional discrimination. So it's very crazy ka imefika, like ndio maana unasikianga movies, unasikia sijui Anderson sijui versus Neil like of 16, as in ni very big na inachezanga like a very big part in in history. So sijui kama ni big enough, but considering ni pesa ya watu, I think it should be like Kenya imefika mahali unajifikiria and you try every possible thing uone vile utasaidika.
Yep, true. Including being vocal. Yep, true.
Yeah, you have to be vocal and very, very loud if you want your rights to be heard. It's just like this lady. I think mdem anaweza kuwa vitu zake zinakuwa sorted, but si kila mtu, but yeye anaweza pata niko sure ndio watulize. Hata si activist, magava wataingia, watampea job, watamfanya nini, like those guys over there, they're all big people, na niko sure just to like dim your situation yenye ili happen vile aliongelesha the gava, atapewa like something enye inaweza mfanya akue well off, as in itamtoa penye ako, ndio wanyamazishe tu watu kusema no, huyu ndio alikuwa na complain last time, amepewa hapa na hapa hapa na hapa juu yeye ndio amekuwa loud, yeye ndio amekuwa vocal. So
you know one thing, Saka,
out there.
Saka, let me cut you short for a second. You know, she would be the number one public enemy if she finds herself in a beneficial spot yenye yeye ame-benefit aka-tone down, and then her friends are back in the same. She will be number one public enemy. Venye alikuwa anasema, if
to who enemy and you're not
to
loud.
To the people. Let me tell you why.
Watu wajaongea before yeye.
Wait, hold up.
Alienda hapo mbele, as you can see, alienda hapo mbele, hakuenda kutetea watu wengine, alienda kujitetea.
No.
Uni mtu hakuna kitu ina happen kwa maisha yake. I don't think anajali kuwa any of what people. Watu wenye waongei ni sawa.
Sikia Kisaka. Unaona the thing is, how many people are victims right now? Hawa watu ni wengi. Hawa wanafunzi ni wengi sana. So yeah, he's among the few, and I was so disappointed not to see mwanaume akiongea hapo pia, although kuna maboys walikuwa victims pia na hawakuongea. So the thing is, amademo waliongea, which was so good for them to speak out, and they were not speaking out on personal levels because this is something wana deal nayo wengi. They want their money back. All their statement was like, we want our money back. So she must have been selected.
What was this lady saying?
She must have been speaking on behalf of the whole group.
But alikuwa anasema
wote.
That's true.
Saka mwezi ongea wote. Okay. So hao ndo walikuwa, hata mimi naona walikuwa the selected few, and kama ata benefit na ajitoe kwa hiyo story ama atakuwa like atakuwa, so umepata nini yako unini, unajua atakuwa na maadui wengi bro, juu akiaway after amesha benefit ama after amepata do yake back alafu amejitoa kwa story bro, itakuwa pia poa kwake, atakuwa na maadui wengi.
That's true. Lakini unajua
I feel like that is what they will do to her. That is what they will do to her. You know why? So they will turn all these other guys against her. Now
divide and rule.
Divide and rule. So they will give this lady what she wants, or maybe the few what they want, and then ibaki yao wengine. And then these other ones will not be speaking of ati pesa yetu ilizama ama kitu kayo. They will be speaking of sasa wale walisotiwa wakatusahau sisi. Now they will divide them amongst themselves.
Exactly. And that come in your governor, that's what I'm aiming for.
The divide and rule, ndugu yangu.
Yeah, come in your governor, that's what I'm aiming. That is exactly what I'm aiming for. Mimi nasema tu sasa hivi when Neil kuja tuongee kando, ulikuwa unataka nini? Ulikuwa unataka hii job. Hebu tuone kama tunaweza pata. Ulikuwa unafanya nini? Alafu part of my ya kukuja ni usikue very loud, and they tell you this.
Hata wakwambia usikue very loud bro, wewe mwenyewe utaacha kuwa loud bro.
Exactly. Ushapata kitu unaendea,
wewe do yako imerudi, umepata job, umepata nini bro, Huwezi kata job
Huwezi.
ati job bado na pigania nyingine.
Huwezi naka au
Mi kwanza
magari smart utaona
Kwanza
yeye ndio
nachukua
atatafuta hata wiki 2 haitaisha.
natafuta odem.
And I think they will target the most vocal ones.
Of
So
course.
wanna say wenye wanaweza ongea juu venye Tito amesema hakuna boy aliongea. So hata after hiyo I don't think kuna boy atakam aseme ati unajua hata sisi tuliko wananyamaza. They'll start like discussing in groups.
Miki tunaweza ambia odem.
Social media.
Puny.
Miki tunaweza ambia odem. If I would ever meet her, I would tell her to launch a political career. Cause
Inaanzanga hivyo. That's true.
Right now achana na story kutoka Kenya.
Upate nini po but depend pia kitu anataka. Labda mtu anataka.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ashapata audience. Udema kama sauti bro.
Mi na feel nika akiza if she would go into politics she would excel.
Integemea na Tito. Unajua anaweza amua ingie political minded. Ikuje mpige naye kiboko because si kila mtu anaingia political anakuwa successful bro.
Okay, unajua kwa nini
let me give you a good example. Angalia Anita Soni alijaribia politics. Saizi anafanya nini? Imebidi saizi aanze kupanda miti.
Nani?
Anita Soni.
Haya, acha nikwambie kwa nini nasema hivyo. Acha nikwambie kwa nini nasema she can be a good leader. Unaona odem, it's not hana hiyo idea ya politics. She doesn't have the thought, hajakuwa na hiyo thought. But out of public opinion, if you hear the opinions of very many people, is that she can make a good leader. And of which if guys can see it in her, then it means she has it. So sio hata kuwa ameget into politics because she feels like she has this voice.
We're mute.
Nimemute zeni.
So itakuwa out of public opinion. If guys can see the leadership in her, then I think she has it. She already has it. So
is a lot more than just picking up. It's only that
of course.
Alipata courage ya kuongea. Imanishi saa any leader.
It doesn't make her but
short. Ujika alichochwa, ujika nini alifanywa ndio adrenaline ipande. Ujui as in
kama alikuwa amechoma
ujui. Juu yeye alikuja tu hapo akasema mimi ninakuja kujitoa yote na alisema akiendelea hata hako anataka kuwa cut short juu alikuwa anajua labda hiyo confidence tapotea. Yes, ni a big part of leadership kuweza kuongea na stand out na kufight for your people. But kusema just from that short thing
not from that short thing, okay? I think
but I can build on it definitely.
Definitely. Exactly. What I mean is, political careers can be molded. That can be a head start akonayo at the moment. So, but with I don't know. We don't know what would turn out of her political career, but I think it's worth a shot, man.
Definitely.
But anyway,
we need very outspoken women.
We wrap up in 2 minutes. Atari.
It's time.
Nataka nipe jamaa wangu chakula bana.
Parting shot.
Let me end this by saying, wakisemaga when the deal is too good, you have to think it twice. Unaona? So ishafanyika. Kama ishafanyika, let's find a proper way, because wacha tukwambie kila mtu anajua scandal na saga zote zinakuanga with the government. We have to think aloud. Na mtu go to a personal level. Wacha sasa kwenda ka group. You've already seen whatever the mass can do. The mass can dictate everything. Wanaweza ingia kwa social media wakusaidia kuongea. Lakini ndio wewe upate haki yako. You have to push ahead further. Like the same way William ananiambianga, ukiona the mass way imekataa,
try the court way. Unaona? Ukiona the court way imekataa, go as an individual. Try it. Hao wanafunzi ndio saizi hao wazazi ndio wapate haki yao. Try to read these guys at a personal level, tell them that ishafanyika. The name have been told out there. Imeshafanyika. What can you do to help me? Mtoto wangu ako nyumbani. Huyo anauya kwa nyumbani, tunaweza saidiana aje? Try to figure nao majamaa ndio uone kama utasaidiwa. Buruki ngojea the public. The government has no time to solve nyinyi wote. Government utasema let's go the book way. The book way is usually to go to the courts. Tukienda kotini, kesi unajua Kenya hakuna kesi inaendelea serikali ni itakuwa fupi. Kesi ya serikali inakuanga inaenda mpaka hata unapatanga some people, I'm sorry, some people wenye walikuanga hapo unasikia walikufa, mwingine walikuwa timu karatasi zilipotea, hiyo hard disk ilikuwa nayo nini ilipotea. So ukitaka maisha yako isaidike, just try to go to a personal level now. That's my opinion, guys.
I think ni the opposite.
At the opposite, exactly.
Ni the opposite. Honestly, gava is too big kwenda peke yako.
Sijamaanisha uende kwa gava. Approach wacha nikwambie. All these guys ungesikia walikuwa na complain William. Walikuwa na complain mpaka ana mention kumaanisha hao ni watu wanajua mpaka the senator vizuri, unaona? Alikwambia these guys were mentioning these leaders in the government like mpaka ana mention mpaka jina familia. Mimi nilikuwa nakisikia yote, huyu msana anaongea kikale, anamwambia mimi najua mpaka mwingine aliambiwa mimi nilitahiri na baba yako. Mimi nilifanya hivi kumaanisha these guys know each other into a personal level, William. Wacha nikwambie, if you know that you can approach this guy in a personal level, try that. Because wacha nikwambie, anytime William unaendanga with the mask, the mask can never be favored. Wacha nikwambie, kuna huyu mmoja mwenye wanaangalianga huyu alihumble kidogo akafanywa nini? Unapatiwa kitu yako. Unatolewa. Lakini wacha nikwambie, the mask way William, this is not Kenya is a third world country, bro. Hapo ukiforce paperwork watakuonesha vile Jalango alienda kotini, bro. So fikiria,
sikia ukifanya one on one utafanya kitu nila amekuwa akisema saizi, unapoa kidogo kutulia, unapoa kupuliza utapoa kupuliza nini kidonda haitaisolvika. Why do you think Raila amesikika? Joto ameenda streets, Joto amekuwa wengi na ameenda streets. Si ati hakuna kitu enye utasema and you'll actually win against watu ka gava. If you actually want your right, haita happen ukienda solo. Ni kujishikana na the right people.
Kwa hiyo point nimesema mimi
the paper way is the worst way to go in Kenya.
Usinipe anything bro, mimi nipe kidogo na nikuachie nyingine. Unajua hata hiyo yenye umenipea kiasi nimebahatika kupata hiyo kiasi. Yeye unipe kiasi na nikuache uende. Juu me issue na courts and all that bro, 40 years 55 years siwezi ngoja.
Willy wacha nitumie example moja ya mwisho William. Unakumbuka after election Jalango alikuwa kwanza kubeba maboksi ya nini? Maboksi ya evidence. Akienda kotini. Alafu jamaa alienda nini? Baadaye after some time aka-approach the government to a personal level yeye mwenyewe. Sasa unaona the opposition party inamuita msaliti kwa sababu gani? Alitoka peke yake. Na ukitoka peke yako the government favors you. The government inakuangalia vizuri sana. Na nakwambia in this country, in our country Kenya,
as a community, shida hii itaikuwa solved.
Wacha nikwambie saizi William, unajua hiyo ni shida yako wewe mwenyewe, umeshaumia. Ukumbuka umeuza ng'ombe, umeuza shamba, umeuza kuku, umeuza mpaka chakula ya kuku wenyewe. So kimebaki saizi uende kazi utafute chakula yako. Hakuna kufikiria masomo tena, juu masomo ishaharibika na the government. What should you do? Uko na shida yako bro, jaribu kusolve shida peke yako. Approach this guy on a personal level, mwambie ukweli I'm among the people wenye walisafa na ukweli ime impact man popote. Unaweza nisaidia huyu mwanafunzi asome at some point. Huyu jamaa atakusaidia. Lakini ukienda na paperwork way, William, this is not Australia. That's not Australia. That's not UK. That's not USA, bro. That is Kenya.
There's nothing.
Yeah. All right. Masani mbaya.
Wewe uende kazi.
Masani mbaya.
Sasa tupatane Friday podcast kesho.
Kesho mkuje mapema na hiyo moto mmekuja nayo late. Ruto welet kama. Kesho kuja na hiyo moto.
Kijana wenyewe alikuwa anafaa kwenda kotini bro. So nilikuwa nangangana kutoka kotini mbio.
Safi.
Ndio unaona mambo ya koti imenishika kwa akili hivi sana. Si ati ni vocabulary
Sasa,
nimetoa mbali. Hakuna vocabulary niko naye. Sijui Kizungu, sijui mambo ya kotini, lakini nimetoa huko. Just this way. Lakini kesho nitakuwa mapema. Tomorrow is on a Friday, kesho niko free. Nitakuwa nafanya kazi home, so nitakuwa free kabisa.
I'll give 30 seconds to Raquel for saying what she wanted to say, and then I
Medrin sasa nimekumiss.
Pendo Raquel.
Raquel sasa long time.
I'm going to snatch all your mic. I'm going to snatch all your mic.
Saseni.
I'm going to snatch all your mics.
Uko na 30 seconds ngoja tujibu bwana. Ongea.
Saseni.
Sasa? Poa sana.
Long time.
Yeah, long time. Umechelewa, you were just wrapping up.
Ndio nimeamka hata siendi job tena.
Sijali. Kesho pia tuko na space, so tomorrow you can jump in a little bit early. Time is not really on our side. I was just letting you say hi. This has been a proud production of Tito himself. This is the Uninterrupted Podcast. Tuonane kesho. It is what it is. You already know.